Hello everyone, welcome to Be Muscle. Today we're going to be talking about a fat loss transformation and week 4 of my 12-week cut. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and if you want to begin your transformation journey but you don't know where to start, check out the 8-week foundation phase, okay, which is part of the Be Muscle coaching. Link is in the description below. So let's jump straight in. We're going to start on the dashboard as always. Average performance score, 90%, same as last week as well. So again, consistency hit. 4 check-ins now completed with myself, 14 workouts now in the books. So let's check out exactly what happened last week. So 90%, 9 out of 10 targets hit for me last week. Let's delve into them. Workouts. 3 out of 3 completed, which was good. I did drop my workouts from 4 to 3. 3 will be much more consistent, sustainable for me just going forward. So again, nothing wrong with dropping a workout to stay consistent. Cardio, my target was 30 minutes. I managed to complete 33 minutes. That was a 6K run this week outside, which was good. So that's 4 weeks in a row I've managed to hit the cardio target. And then nutrition. Touching on to average meals, last week averaged about 3.4 meals there. No planned snacks, no unplanned snacks. So yeah, consistency around that sort of 3 and 4 meals. There was one day actually I hit 2 meals. I think that was last Sunday. Hit around 2 meals. So, but again, I'll show you the numbers in a second. Fruit and veg in every meal ticked off, which is good. I think I missed that one last week actually by 1 day. So that was important for me just to get that right this week. Daily protein in each meal, again, 7 out of 7 days. That's 4 weeks in a row. Calorie target, 2,700. Again, near perfect, just under 2,692. Again, that's 4 weeks in a row hitting the calories. Protein. Look at this. This was my downfall this week. 158 grams on average per day this week. Okay, so a little bit lower. Usually I'm quite good with my protein, but again, there can be some days that let you down. I'll show you in a second what days they were. Daily fats target is 80. I managed to get 88, which was good. Remember with these targets, especially with the macros, there's 10 grams of leeway each side. Okay, so with a target of 80, that's technically anywhere from 70 to 90. Okay, and I managed to get 88, which is bang in there. And then carbs is simply the rest of the calories, but I managed to actually get around the 315 target, so that one is ticked off as well. And then lifestyle, touching into water, my target is 2.5 litres, managed to get 2.9, which is good. So that's 3 weeks in a row hitting the water. And nightly sleep, target was 7 hours and managed to average 7 hours 17. And again, I was saved by a long sleep that got me that one. So let's just touch into the exact numbers that I got last week over the last 7 days. So my training sessions, they were done on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So again, little rest day in between. Again, just, you know, it's good for like your energy and things like that. Monday's a leg session, so it's good then to have a rest day after that. Then, you know, to do a push, I think it is, yeah, and then a rest and then a pull. So again, that split is good for me. Then again, weekend off, back on Monday. Again, that split is just sustainable for me. Cardio, obviously that was done yesterday. That's done on a Saturday morning, 33 minutes done there. Meals. So yeah, there we go. There was that Sunday. Last Sunday I had 2 meals there, but everything else, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3 and 3. So again, that 2 meal one, again, it could have potentially let me down. I think it may have stopped a little bit of protein because obviously the less meals you have, the harder it is to get in the protein. But we'll look at protein in a second. But no planned snacks, no unplanned snacks. Fruit, veg, and protein in each meal. Again, all ticked off every single meal. That's just a normal habit for me, which is good. Calories. If we look at here, so we started off around 2783, 285, 257, 27, 26, 26, 27. So calories a little bit better this week in terms of more consistent around the same level, which is good. Protein, here we go. So last Sunday with those 2 meals, I hit 138, which is quite low. In the week, it was a 183, a 147, slightly lower there, a 188, a 188. That must have been the Friday was a 163, and yesterday is ultimately probably what let me down. Only 100 grams of protein there. I did have 3 meals yesterday, I want to say. Yep, 3 meals. One was some bacon thins. Another meal was, I want to say, the chicken fajita wraps I had. And then the third meal was a lamb burger we had with some sweet potato fries. So again, I got in my calories, they were fine. Fats was slightly higher. That was probably due to the things like the burger and the sweet potato fries. But the protein was low. So even though I got protein in each meal, my protein intake was still low. So again, sometimes I do miss that meal in terms of, like a whey protein shake massively helps. I think I usually have around 70 grams of whey in just to shake a bottle on its own, just with some water, and I tag that onto a meal sometimes, and again that's an extra 50 grams of protein, and again it massively boosts it up. I didn't have a protein shake yesterday, so again if I factor that in, that easily could have been 150, and then if I added more chicken to say with the wraps, maybe some extra protein in with the burger potentially, then yeah, probably could have got that. But we can't hit every single target every single week. Okay, it's normal to miss some, and yeah, protein was my downfall this week. But I just got to focus on this for this week coming and just make sure that protein is back on track. Fats, again we hit 88, which was just slightly over the target, but again it's in the ratio. It ticks off green, so was it 80s, 90s, 90s, 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. So a lot of 80s and 90s with the fats. If I'm being picky, I'd probably want to bring that down just fractionally. But, we still got the target. Carbs, that's just simply the rest of the calories. Water, 2.5, 3 litres, 3 litres, 3 litres, 2.5, 3. So again, a lot of 3 litres there and 2.5. So water is really good. Sleep. There was one night, I think it must have been last Sunday, 5 hours. Went to bed, again I was just working, and all of a sudden went to bed really late. I do wake up, I think it's around 4:45 on a Monday morning. Again, that just allows me an hour to wake up, prep my food, and then go to the gym. I get to gym for 6. So again, I had a really late night working last Sunday, had to get up early, and then that's 5 hours. So I managed to get 7 the next night, 9 on the other night. I managed to really force myself to go to bed early. I got a couple of 6 hours here, 6 and 6:30. And then I was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit this. Managed to hit a 7 yesterday. And then obviously last night was obviously a 10.5. And obviously that massively just pushes up the numbers. So again, sleep is not, the best in terms of this night here. But again, I'm really going to make sure next week that I don't get a 5-hour night's sleep. I really need to make sure there's a minimum of at least 7 per night, and a couple of 6s here. I don't really mind a 6 and a 6.5, but yeah, when I see a 5, I'm like, no, I don't want to see that again. So daily steps obviously not being tracked, caffeine not being tracked, and alcohol. Obviously I don't drink alcohol, so that's not being tracked either. So yeah, those are the numbers there. Just going to touch into the data overview for me. So in terms of body weight this week, fractionally an uptick here. So last week we were sitting around the 97.4, I want to say here. Yep, 97.4, and we went up to 97.8. Okay, so 0.4 kg added, which is nearly a pound up. But again, because I had this big drop here from 99 to 97.4, which is about 2.6 kilos down, which is around 5 pounds down in 1 week. Yes, that's a really good drop, but then this little bounce up here, kind of like a maintenance little bounce, that's normal. After a big drop like that, I do expect body weight to either stay the same or bump up. I didn't change anything either. So basically with those changes I made on the calories on this date, body weight came down, and then I didn't make any changes. Body weight, again, maintained or went up fractionally. So again, it's just one of those things. There is going to be some changes for me this week. So again, I'm probably expecting another drop next week on that one. I'm just going to go into the ratings. So recovery rating. I rated my recovery 8 out of this week. Probably leg recovery from the leg day was good. Chest one was actually okay. The back recovery was slightly sore for a little bit longer. I think, though, that may have been due to the protein potentially, and potentially the sleep, because it was a lot less in the night. Okay, so fractionally down on the score there, but still a good score. If you're around that 8 and 9, it's still a good result. Energy levels, what was this one? 8 again, so that's 2 weeks in a row hitting 8. Again, fairly good energy. Sleep quality, again around that 8. So again, sleeping all the way through, that's fine. And then day-to-day stress levels fractionally down to 5. Okay, so we had 4, 5, and 6 going up. This one was fractionally down. So again, stress is at a good area. If we can get stress below 5, I think you're in a good place. If you're rating your stress each week You know, 5 and 6 is probably the area where you start thinking about reducing it. If you're in 7s plus, so 7, 8, and 9, that's where you really need to sort of really focus on it each week, draw your attention to what is causing the stress, and see if you can obviously, you know, bring down those stress factors. But, you know, if you're below 5, I think you're generally in a good place with stress. With that one. And the other one was meals. Meals and snacks here. And yeah, nice and simple. Obviously, there was 0 planned, 0 unplanned snacks. Meals, again, between this 3 and 4. So nice and consistent here. I did have that drop with 2 meals this week. So that's potentially why this little drop happened here. But again, between 3 and 4, I am probably my best when I'm hitting 4 consistent meals all the time there. So just touching into the weekly tracker for this week coming. So my plan changes for this next week is cardio. I'm going to increase the cardio to 40 minutes. I'm currently doing 30. It's a 10-minute increase in my cardio. And then calories reduced to 2,600. Okay, so I'm on 2,700. So that's 100 calories reduced and 10 minutes of cardio added. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, it's not really much of a change, but you know, doing this for the next 2 weeks, hopefully, again, another body weight drop coming on that one. So here are my 10 targets for next week. Obviously, I've got my free gym workouts, 40 minutes of cardio, fruit, veg, and salad. Again, 7 days in a row. That's having veg, salad, or fruit in every single meal. 7 out of 7 days is the target. Protein in each meal, 7 out of 7. Calories to average around 2.6. Protein to average around 180. Again, that's going to be a key focus for me next week. Daily fats around 80. Carbs is obviously the rest of the calories, or around 315. Lifestyle, again, 2.5 litres. And then sleep, again, to target above 7 hours on that one. So yes, that is everything for me. So again, weight didn't go down, which is, you know, can be annoying, but again, I'm not weight focused because I know that over the next, 8 weeks still to go, you know, consistently dropping the calories nice and slowly, cardio, again, increasing nice and slowly. So again, nothing to panic about at this stage. If you guys want to begin your transformation, but you don't know where to start, again, check out the 8-week foundation phase, part of the Be Muscle Coaching. Link is in the description below. And yes, I will see you next week so we can review week number 5. Yeah, that's all from me. Take care. Have a great week.